Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, and it is another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? It is right after the Great Turkey War. We both survived it, and joining me today is somebody that is incredible, somebody who I met back at NecoCon last year, and yes, they are a JoJo cosplayer, and y'all know that I love interviewing JoJo cosplayers, and that is Wynkitaru. Wyn, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I am very excited to be here.
That's awesome. That's what I love to hear. That is exactly what I love to hear. And thank you so much for joining me. So before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Bank. And as D says, podcast link down below in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So Wyn, let's go ahead and get into today's interview. So the first question that I ask each and every guest of here is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who you are.
So I started when I was in middle school, I think it was 6th grade, I had just gotten a phone and I was on YouTube and I would watch all these cosplay music videos. Have you ever seen them before? Where it's just
Yes.
it's really cool. Yeah, and it's just cosplayers, people photographing, videographing people's costumes. And I was like, wow, that is so cool. I want to do that. And so I think it was Halloween in middle school, and they had this competition thing where it was called the Halloween dance, and it was a whole a costume competition. And during that time, I was also really into I would sketch out costumes and stuff, but I didn't really know how to sew or anything like that. But I was like, that'd be cool if I could do that. And so I went as Scary Mario. I made a box and everything. I sketched out the idea. I put together a little mystery box out of foam pieces, and then I won scariest, which was really, really cool.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, this is cool. And so I think it was in later on, at some other point in middle school, I think maybe 7th or 8th grade, my mom really knew I was into anime, and so she was like, hey, do you want to go to Norfolk Anime Explosion? That's happening. And then I was like, oh, okay, sure. And so I had all these ideas sketched out, but for some reason I decided to go as Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, even though I had never seen it before. I was just like, oh, that's easy. And so yeah. And then I think after that I was like, oh, conventions are cool. And then I kind of just continued watching cosplay music videos, but I didn't really go to another convention until maybe freshman year, I think it was, where my friend Jake, he calls me and he's like, hey, do you want to go to Tidewater Comic-Con? And I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Sure. And so that was the first time I ever made my own costume. It was Moana. And nice. I really liked it, and I got so many compliments, and everybody was so nice, and I was just yeah, I want to do this more often.
That's awesome. Hey, that's an awesome origin story. So, before we move forward, you got to tell me what was this Scary Mario like? Because it's I'm picturing something in my head, but let me and the viewers know what did Scary Mario look like?
So basically, I had a red top that was in my that was in my closet. I took that, got a pair of Mario suspenders, and I took the Mario hat and I put fake dollar store blood all over it. And then I have really sensitive skin, but I was I was so determined to get this cosplay out. I put, you probably shouldn't do this, but I put Elmer's glue and cotton balls on my face for foam, froth, for the mouth. And then I took dollar store blood and I just smeared that all over my face. And then I basically took the mystery box that I made. I put blood all over it. I just put blood over everything, and blood and cotton balls. And yeah, probably not a good idea to put it on my face, but I was committed.
No, I mean, that's awesome. It's when I'm thinking about Elmer's glue, when I was a kid, I don't know why. I never put it on my face, though. I don't know if anybody else ever put it on their face, but I used to always pour it on my hands. And then it's just I would just keep going like this until it was just glue up there. And then I was just killing. Like, I remember I used to go through bottles of glue just doing that until my mom was just like, I'm not going to keep on buying glue. So I stopped doing it. So,
I did that too.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was.
Yeah. You know, I don't even know if kids still do that. I remember I used to take the glue sticks and I would try to do it. And I was just like, it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, now, it's not the same thing.
It's not. And look, I just want to say to everybody that's watching, because I know a lot of people use Gorilla Glue. Please do not use Gorilla Glue, because you're going to put your hands together and they are not going to come apart. Use Elmer's glue. But no, I think that's an awesome origin story. And I remember the Norfolk Explosion Con. I never went to it. I know that they don't have it anymore. But
yeah.
I know, like, you know, cons like that, those were smaller cons. There used to be a lot before the pandemic happened and whatnot. And it just seems like now that there's really only the bigger cons that are here in the area.
Right.
But I think that was an awesome origin story. And now, you know, I want to jump to, like, when we had met each other, it was at NecoCon 2020. And, you know, to see how far we've both come, like, in our cosplay journey thus far, you know, running into you at NecoCon this year, which is funny. It's story time. I got to tell y'all this because, you know, I meet so many people at cons and whatnot. And, you know, when you meet people at cons, it's like everybody has a cosplay on and whatnot. So you don't know who is who, especially if they're wearing a mask and whatnot. And I always feel bad because I've ran into Wen twice now. It was this year at not Superstar, at Tidewater Comic Con. Yeah. I was cosplaying as Deku, and then they had on this amazing half toga, half Uraraka cosplay. And I was like, hey, can I get your photo? And let me tag you on Instagram. And she was just like, Benjamin, it's me. And I was just like, oh, well, I didn't know because she had on mask. And then at NecoCon this year, she was cosplaying as T. Feedy from Moana. And I was just like, yeah, what's your Instagram? And she was like, Ben, it's me. I'm supposed to know. And like, it was a full cosplay, and it was an awesome costume, by the way, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Like, so I want to ask you now, because I know I kind of snowballed. Like, how long did it take you to make the T. Feedy cosplay? Because when I saw it at the con, like, I was just like, yo, that cosplay is amazing. So how long did it take you to do that?
It took me, like, I want to say, like, if you include, because I was planning this since like August, so like I made the sketch that I sent you and stuff like that, and so I would say, like, construction wise, it took me probably like a month and a half to 2 months, because like I also, like, I'm in college, so like it was a lot of like do the homework, and then like they have this thing called the makerspace at my school, and then so I would go there and I'd start carving foam. Like I would be in there with like 2 other people, and so it took me probably like a month to a month and a half to get like to construct the skirt, like do all the designs and stuff, like the puff paint, and like it was my first time doing a lot of the stuff that I did too. Like I'd never made it like a real like mask before, and like I never really like constructed like any type of foam like skirt or anything like that. So yeah, it was about a month and a half.
That's awesome. So, you know, like I said, it was an amazing cosplay. Did you think that you were gonna be on Channel 13 News in that costume?
I honestly, like, I didn't think I would, but at the same time, like, for some reason, every time I go as somebody from Moana, I always get a news interview for some reason. Like, when it's happened twice, I think, at Tidewater, and maybe, like, it might have been last NecoCon too, but, like, I don't know if, like, I've ever, like, seen them before, so that was my first time after actually seeing myself on there, but, like, yeah, it was still unexpected though, because like I didn't know that the news team was going to be there still.
Yeah, it was crazy because I mean, like, I was Isame, and I was taking some photos with some friends, and then like the guy, he started pointing at me, and then I pointed at him, because in the interview, like, you see me pointing, and it's like because I was pointing at him because I was making sure that he wasn't pointing at me. But it was an awesome experience. I mean, like, I interview people all the time. It's not so often that somebody's just like, hey, can I interview you? So I thought that was a really cool moment. So, you know, I got to ask you now, what have been some of your favorite moments from going to cons over the years?
My favorite moments, I think like it's like 2 main things. Like like whenever I dress as like somebody from Moana, because that's like been the main thing that I like take to conventions for some reason. That's just kind of my theme now, I guess, like other than like the other like animes and stuff. But like there's always like a little kid or something who like come up and they'll be like, oh, like that's Moana, like oh my gosh, like that's Taka, like, and then their parents like, oh my gosh, like can I take a picture? So I always get like a lot of that, and it's like very heartwarming for me because I'm just like, oh my gosh, like they see me like as this character, and like it's just so cute. And then like I'd say like my second favorite moment was like this year, like for like my first time ever participating in the masquerade. Like it was like the first time I ever won an award for like a costume like that.
Nice.
Like at a convention. And so like that was kind of special to me like this year. So yeah, that's my favorite. So.
Yeah, I mean, and like those are awesome. I mean, and again, I can't say it enough. Like your Tafiti cosplay, like it was awesome. Like I know, like I heard from multiple people, it's just like, yeah, like that's an awesome cosplay. And you know, I had to get a photo. I took a photo of you and I took a photo with you, so it was awesome. So you know, now I want to ask you, what have been some of your favorite cosplays that you've done over the years? If you give me a top three.
Top three, Taka definitely, like the Tafiti like / Taka one. That was like, that's like the biggest one I think I've done. And like I just really like the results of that. So I would say that's number one. Okay. Number two is my half Uraraka, half toga, like because that the wig styling for that was so long. So that was my first time ever styling a wig. I really liked the results of it. Like I was, because like, and it was just like one of those ideas that I was just like, it was very spontaneous. Like, and so I was just like, I really like this character and I want to bring it to life. And so that's why I really like that one. Then my third favorite, I would have, that's kind of hard, but I would have to go with maybe my my like Voyager Moana costume, because that one has like a whole oar with it. Mm-hmm. Like, and I really like prop making, and like Moana is just like one like the first type of costume I ever made. Like, so that kind of is like special to me.
Okay. All right. So I mean, you know, we've been talking a lot about Moana, and I haven't asked this question in a while, so I'm gonna ask it now. What are your top 5 Disney movies? It could be animated, hand-drawn, CGI, whatever. Give me your top 5.
Who's that cosplayer?
BJ Rose cosplay.
Top 5. Maybe.
And they don't have to be in particular order. It could just be your top 5.
Okay, yeah. I really like Moana. Encanto was really cool. I really like Lilo and Stitch a lot. Like, I don't know if you consider that like a movie. Like they have, I know they have a series, but yeah, Lilo and Stitch. I really like that. You can see like Stitch in the back. And when I was a kid, like I really liked Peter Pan for some reason. Like I had it on DVD and I would like play it over and over and over again. And then the last one. Maybe Princess and the Frog. Like that's the one that I rewatched with my roommates like most recently. So I would say I like that a lot.
Okay, awesome. It's crazy because Princess and the Frog, Moana, and what else was it that you had said? Lilo and Stitch. All right, and don't bash me, but I haven't seen any of those movies, right?
I haven't seen that.
Let me rewind that real quick. It's like I hadn't seen any of those movies until I had got COVID at the start of the year. And one of the running gags on the podcast and in my life in general is that I haven't seen a lot of movies. So when I had COVID at the start of the year, all I did was watch Disney movies. And I watched Princess and the Frog, I watched Moana, and then I watched Lilo and Stitch. And I was like, man, now I see why people always say that these movies are so good, and they were good. So I think that that's a good top 5 list that you got there. And Peter Pan, like that's a classic. Like that's something that I haven't heard in a long time. And that's the reason why I like asking people what their top 5 Disney movies are, because you always get different ones. Like Encanto, like everybody loves Encanto. You know, I'm surprised you didn't say Turning Red, because that's mine. That's, you know, but anyway,
That one was really good.
It was, I sing the songs all the time. And I mean, I sing the songs from in concert too. I mean, when it comes to Disney movies, it's like their soundtrack always slap. Like it doesn't matter what movie it is, like they're gonna have a good song/soundtrack to whatever the movie is.
Right.
So now I want to ask you, because the Great Turkey War, we both survived it. We're both here. We're about to go into the Great Gingerbread War that's coming up. I want to ask you, what is one of your favorite dishes that you like to have during the Great Turkey War?
Oh, that's easy. My mom makes some really good baked mac and cheese that I look forward to every single year. Baked mac and cheese, like, period.
That is the best. That is always the best, and not with raisins, right?
Not with raisins. I do not like raisins.
I like raisins, but they do not belong in macaroni and cheese or potato salad. I don't know why people put it in there. As I've seen videos online, and if something is a classic and if it's not broken, don't need no fixing, then don't fix it. I don't be understanding what people be doing, but anyway, no, that's awesome. I love macaroni and cheese too. Like that's one of my signature dishes that everybody loves, and I feel like that. How awesome somebody is depending on how they make their macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like if their macaroni and cheese don't slap, then it's just like, yeah, I'm good on it. But
it's like,
hey, look, I like how every time I cook it, I'm just like, if it's not bubbling, then you're doing something wrong. I don't want none of that Kraft mac and cheese, and I need it oven baked. Have it on the broil, so that way it's all bubbly at the top. That's how you do it.
Yeah, like the nice crust on the top, like nice golden brown. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I want to ask you, what are some future cosplays that you are going to be debuting when the next cons come rolling around?
That's a good question. I'm trying to find something to do for the NecoCon theme, like Little Witch Academia. Trying to think about something for that, but I really want to do something from I want to do like a Monster High cosplay. Like I've seen some many people do some really, really cool like Monster High costumes. So I was thinking maybe something like that. Maybe doing Tafiti, when she gets her heart back. I was thinking maybe doing that so I could have almost like a full complete Moana set of costumes. And then what else? I literally just made a list too. And I don't know, some more anime costumes. Because I watch a lot of that. So maybe I might do another My Hero costume. I know I've done Mirko and stuff like that. So what other characters?
If you were going to do another My Hero, I mean, because you're so creative, I think that it would be awesome if you did a Hawks cosplay.
A Hawks cosplay? That would be really cool. I've seen so many people with a lot of doing the wings and stuff.
Yep.
And it looks really nice. So yeah, I would definitely consider that. Let's see. I have I literally have a folder on my Instagram that has cosplans in it. But yeah. Yeah, anything from My Hero or maybe another Black Butler costume, something like that. I think probably I'll debut next.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome. So one final question that I have for you before we wrap this thing up is, because you said that you love watching a lot of anime and whatnot, what are some of your favorite animes that you enjoy watching right now?
So right now, let's see. I recently watched Demon Slayer. Nice. I finished that. I think another has another season come out, or is it coming out soon?
Season 3, I think, is coming out next year, I believe.
Next year? Okay. Yeah. So I've watched that. And then the newest season of My Hero, I'm going to be watching. I haven't gotten a chance to watch the most recent episodes, because I usually like to watch them with my sister. When I come back for Thanksgiving break, I'll be finishing those. Let's see. I really want to rewatch Soul Eater, and read the manga for that. Let's see. I really liked Tokyo Revengers. I really like the anime. I haven't had a chance to read the manga though. What else? I hope to finish JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the part 6. Yeah, because I also watched that with my sister. Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's a good list. I know part 6 it comes out next month. Oh man, and then it's just like, oh my god, I did it! I finally did it. Yo, you just mentioned JoJo's Bizarre Adventure at the start of this thing. I was just like, yo, this is another JoJo fan. And look, I got a couple more questions for you before we wrap this thing up, because this is what I do for JoJo fans. I mean, I know you love My Hero Academia, but I gotta do it for JoJo too. Which JoJo is your favorite JoJo? Which JoJo, like Jotaro, Joseph, Jonathan, who's your favorite?
I think I like my favorite. It's either between Jotaro or Giorno Giovanni.
Okay.
It's between those two, I would say, because my favorite like parts are part 3 and part 5. Okay. So it has to be one of them.
And that's, I mean, like you really don't hear a lot of people say part 3 is their favorite. I mean, I hear it here and there, but a lot of times, like when I interview people, they always say it's either part 5 or part 4. Those are the ones that they always say. And then, of course, if you read the manga, then part 7 will be your favorite. I still haven't gotten that far yet, but hey, those are good choices. Your boy cosplays as Jotaro Kujo, yeah. And I'm hoping to do. I want to do a Santa Jotaro, and I don't know when I'm going to do it. Hey, you might see it in December, because like I said, the Great Gingerbread War is coming up. Yeah. All right, so that was one of the other questions I was going to ask. Which part is your favorite? And you said either part 3 or part 5. So now I got to ask you, this is the final question. Which JoJo villain is your favorite?
Which JoJo villain? Okay. That's hard because I really like villains so much. I don't know if like you can, would you consider Doppio a villain?
No, I wouldn't consider him a villain.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He just doesn't know anything.
He doesn't. Okay, yeah, because like I was like, some people consider him a villain, and like he's like one of my favorite characters, but I'm just like, it's like 2 people. It's just Diablo.
Yeah, exactly.
Diablo,
he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
Yeah, so no, I wouldn't consider him a villain.
Right. So I would have to say maybe I don't know, because like I really like Dio, but that's just like it's very like
generic answer.
Yeah, like
I wouldn't say that. I mean, if you like Dio, because it's like I feel like that's the cool thing about JoJo, is that there are so many villains that you could choose from, and Dio, I consider him a really good villain. Especially, I'm a fan of Dio on part 1. I like part 3 Dio, but I think part 1 Dio is more sinister compared to part 3 Dio, where he just shows up at the end and that's pretty much it. Oh, sorry, you gonna go with Dio? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because like there's so many people like to choose from. I'd have to think really hard, but if I didn't have to think at all, I'd just say Dio. But like it's something that I'd have to compare, because I really love villains in like all animes. Yeah. So it's really hard for me to put them like up against each other.
Okay. All right, one more question, and this is it. Since you really like villains, which villain from My Hero Academia is your favorite?
That's even harder. Because can I give you like a couple?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me 3. Just give me 3.
3? Okay. Okay. I really like Tomura Shigaraki. Okay. I really like Gentle Criminal.
See. Now, and I have had this discussion with people before. It's like I wouldn't consider Gentle Criminal a villain. Like he's more of a bad guy. He's just a criminal. So I wouldn't really consider him a villain. He's not trying to kill anybody or anything. He's just trying to make a name for himself. But that's still a good choice. It's still a good choice. I don't consider him a villain. But if you want to consider him a villain, then might as well go ahead.
Yeah, he's definitely like just like a criminal. I just think it's like the whole like concept of him just like putting videos online is just like a older man just like over here just like trying to like upload like little like YouTube clips or whatever, just trying to be like a villain. That's just like very funny to me. But like if I didn't have to consider him, it would probably be like Tomura, Toga, and who else? And then maybe like Dobby. I really like those three.
Yeah, that's a good choice. And just to go back to Gentle Criminal, it's like I love him and LaBrava's relationship, and I felt so bad for her when they showed her backstory and like how the kids she went to school with, like they were, it was messed up, and they have a true love relationship in My Hero Academia, and I compare Gentle Criminal and Midoriya because it's like that's the route that Midoriya kind of would have went down if he would have never became a hero. I guess.
Yeah.
It's very parallel from each other. But I think that's a really good list. And now we are here at the end of the interview. Thank you so much, Wen, for joining me up here on Who's That Cosplay.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram at Wynkitaru. I hope to be on TikTok soon. It'll be the same at,
Awesome. Hey, and y'all know where y'all can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks at KingBenji_Banks on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you all for watching this interview. Make sure you check out some more interviews we have here on the channel, along with reaction videos and reviews. Make sure you check out our podcast. We have brand new episodes every Tuesday. The link is down below in the description, and then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube on Friday. So with that being said, keep that pinky up, stay positive. The Great Gingerbread War is coming up. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Bye.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.